Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video about leaks, guys. Apparently this is one that is probably the one that it's the most right, apparently, okay? A lot of people are talking about how this one actually was made before the actual data mines and the actual devblogs for the 2 premium tanks that were released today. So let's take a little bit of a look, of course, always with a little bit of salt. The reason I always do these videos is to actually wonder about what can actually come to the game. It's always fun to talk about these. A lot of people like to have these types of videos as well, so let's get into it. Apparently this is supposed to be the most correct one. We will have the confirmation in the upcoming days when more devlogs start to appear, okay? But of course, we can already start with the STRV-121B2. Of course, this thing was already showed today in the devblog, right? So it is a tank that apparently was leaked in this leak before they actually data mined this tank would come, or even the devblog came. So yeah, this would be the first tank. Of course, the second one would be the FV721. This is normally called the Fox. It is a light armored recon vehicle with a 20mm made out of aluminum, and it has a Jaguar petrol engine, and it's able to get to 104 kilometers per hour. If this is true, it would be amazing finally getting one of these recon light tanks that the UK received. We never got the Scorpion or the other one that I forgot the name, but there's many of these light tanks that are made for recon that we never got in the UK Tech 3, so hopefully it gets added. Then of course the Tiger Shark, nothing too much to talk about, evolution of the F5, F404 engine that was already found in the files, so it's kinda already confirmed that it might come, you know. So yeah, we already did a whole bunch of videos about the Tiger Shark, not gonna talk too much about it. They mentioned the BF109C1, which would be an early model of the 109 from 1938, made shortly after the B variant that we have in the game. The differences would be basically 2 or 3 technically. The Humo 210G engine with direct fuel injection, so 690 horsepower, so a little bit more than the original B. And then 4 MG17s and a stronger wing design from the B, right? The AH-1W, normally called the Whiskey Super Cobra, or the Whiskey model, or the Whiskey Cobra, or whatever you want to call it, coming for the US and China. Very similar to the Z variant that we already have in the US, but it would be a little bit worse in the sense of the rotor blade, and of course the systems of it would be a little bit older. Then the Leopard 2A4M. This is a very interesting tank. This is the Canada's most advanced tank that they have. It's actually a 2A4 with a modular armor adapted from the 2A7 Plus. So it is like a cheaper 2A7 basically, right? Of course it will be a little bit worse, but it is up there being a very, very good tank in my opinion. So yeah, it would be the armor of the 2A7 kinda. In the 2A4. It would have enhanced electronics, all digital turret, and it retains the L44 instead of using the L55 cannon. So very interesting tank. You cannot wait to actually have this. Apparently it's supposed to be a Tech 3 vehicle. The ZBD-04, we already talked about this. It's basically a Chinese BMP3. As I said, we already did some videos about it. The Alpha Jet, very interesting. It would come to the Great Britain and France, light attack trainer aircraft, around 1,000 kilometers per hour max speed, 57 meters per second of climb, 127 Mauser cannon or a DEFA 30mm, and it can take non-guided bombs, rockets, and even air-to-air RR missiles like the Magic and the AIM-9. So it's an aircraft that a lot of people have been waiting for a long time. So hopefully this comes to the game right now. I really think it should come. Of course, the Santo 124 Oman that was already confirmed today. Again, another vehicle that was confirmed before technically this leak list apparently appeared. So yeah, again, grain of salt, but if this is true, we will see more confirmations upcoming in the coming days that these vehicles are actually correct. Just like it happened a few times last year with many of these leak lists. There's always one of them that gets everything right, right? The ZSU-23 M4, this is an interesting vehicle, guys. It is a modernized Shilka. Initially, it probably would receive more ammo and a better cannon cooling, since the M2 variant already had that, so I imagine that the M4 would also have these advantages, this upgrade. But the main thing is that it has 2 additional paired Igla manpads. So very interesting, together with smoke grenades, a better radar with IFF, and other improvements like a better mobility with a better transmission. So very, very interesting tank. I cannot wait to actually use this thing. It's not like the USSR needs more of these, but still it's pretty cool. The T80UD, an Ukrainian T80U, that it has a 1000 horsepower diesel engine instead of the jet engine. The VTT DCA, from my research, apparently it's like an AMX13 in AFC configuration with 4 20mm cannons and no radar, I think. The M60 120S, which was basically, apparently, I don't know if this is the case, but it's an M60 that had the M1A1 HA turret, if I'm not mistaken. So the 120mm and a 750 horsepower engine. Very interesting tank, and I think it would be for the US, of course. Then the Marava Mark III, guys, but it's not any Mark III, is with the Ramsegol APS, I think it's called. Basically a soft kill APS. That would be a pre-order premium for the Israelis. The SU-25SM, guys, finally the modernized version of the SU-25. This particular version, the 3 variant, would be like, the main thing about it is that it would have a thermal imaging system, so TV guided stuff and etc. could be used as well with thermals. Using the same Su-25 fuselage. Uses the Pastel RWR, and of course same as like the one in the SMT, and some other modifications like the cockpit, countermeasures, MAW systems, even the SVP-24, a modern CCRP for the Russians, right? Then the Panzer 6B, which would be basically a Tiger II for Sweden. A Buccaneer, this is an interesting one. A Buccaneer S2B, it's basically an S2 variant that can actually use the Martel anti-radar and anti-ship missile. Apparently they have like a version of that missile that it's actually TV guided, and then there is another one that it's passively anti-radiation guided, so very interesting as well. The Wessex has one, which was basically just a turbine powered British built Sikorsky H-34, so very interesting. This version initially was used as a sub-hunter, but I think you will be able to carry ATGMs and rockets and stuff. And then last but not least, the Hungarian Tech 3 coming for air in Italy. I did a whole video of how that would look like, and yeah, I'm going to put a timestamp, or not a timestamp, but like a link in the cards of the video for you to check that video out as well, because we already talked about, and it's something that I've been waiting for a very, very long time. So yeah, hopefully it gets added fairly quickly. And yeah, guys, basically this is it. So a lot of these things very interesting and very realistic, to be honest, to expect. We need to wait, how it is going to be actually implemented or not. We don't know exactly how it is going to be, but and if it's even true or not. But again, wait for a couple of days until the next devlog starts to appear, so that we can actually have a confirmation that this list in particular is the correct one. But it's like 90% sure for now. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about these leak lists, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.